So I'm making this video to talk a little bit about my experience with a product called Feel Free, made by a company named Botanic Tonics. And the unexpected experience I had with it. After a 10.5-month journey of being dependent on it daily. So I got introduced to the product in January of 2022 just from hearing it through podcasts and seeing it advertised on Instagram. And I initially started taking it just because I like to experiment with stuff like nootropics, pre-workouts, that type of thing. Just anything that's going to help me perform better. That's really what drew me into trying it originally, but I instantly got hooked. I didn't really know much about kava or kratom, but I really liked it just for its nootropic effects, but also kind of the euphoric relaxation aspect of it. And if you know about this product, or if you're struggling with being dependent on it, you know that they kind of advertise it as an alcohol alternative. But just to kind of share my story a little bit, I started taking it in January. What started as like trying it a few times a week turned into me replacing it with my morning coffee, and basically just starting to drink it every day, not really thinking much of it, but thinking of it like caffeine, it helps me, wakes me up, helps me stay focused, that type of thing. So anyway, that was around 2 months into it. I'm starting to take it every day, maybe 1 or 2, 3 bottles at most a day. And then I decided to do a fitness challenge that lasts for 75 days where I have to do 2 workouts a day. And, my thought was I would leverage this new product that helps me work out. I get better runs on, keeps me focused, suppresses my appetite to really crush this workout or crush this fitness challenge. So anyway, that started in June. I'm taking it every day. I'm obviously developing quite the dependence on it by now. But when I did this challenge, my dependence just skyrocketed, or my tolerance to the stuff started skyrocketing. I was taking 3, 4, 5, 6 a day. Fast forward to the end of this challenge where I kind of knew I was digging myself in a hole, but because I was working out so much, I was staying hydrated. I felt like I was flushing it out of my system quickly and not really having the withdrawal effects of it, because I'd wake up and just pound a bottle within the first 30 minutes to an hour of waking up. No different than not having caffeine in the morning if you're on that. But when I tried to stop it right after this fitness challenge, knowing deep down and in my subconscious what I got myself into, just not knowing to the extent of how difficult it would be to get off of, when I got off the challenge, which was in around September, I'd been on it for, or August, I'd been on it for 8 months, daily, up to 7, 8 bottles a day at this point. Me trying to get off it for the first time cold turkey was one of the scariest days of my life. Just crippling anxiety, sweating, just feeling terrible, depressed, scary. The fact that I could not feel safe in my own body, and just really fiending another Feel Free. So that's really what woke me up to what I had got myself into. I'd kind of been just ignoring all the obvious signs up until that point. But what trying to quit and that being the scariest day of my life really was a wake-up call for me. And that's really what sent me down this gnarly downward spiral of basically for the next 3 months, just leading me to the lowest point of my life where, I basically was I'm gonna kill myself if I continue on this trajectory and can't get a grip on the situation. By the end of that 3 months in November, I was drinking 10 to 12 of these bottles a day, waking up every day. And what is essentially an opiate withdrawal, if you're if you have a tolerance that high and you're consuming that much for that long, you're just fully, your brain is fully reliant on its opiate receptors being active, and when you withdraw from it, your opiate receptors start freaking out, and that's why the withdrawals are so bad for this, from this product. And I just said, I had enough. I had to remove myself from the situation that I was in, that, I was used to these patterns of just waking up, taking it, and just, taking enough where I was just like, oh my gosh, I'm sick. My skin was like super dry. I was losing a bunch of weight. I'm 200 pounds right now. And through this process of me like working out, I got like down to like 180, like super ripped because I was working out. And then when I tried to quit and then stopped working out, I just dwindled down and got down to like 150. I couldn't eat. I was like vomiting every day. And really, like, the message I'm trying to get out to people is, if you are drinking it and deep down it's like an addictive substance, but you're not really feeling the negative benefits of it yet, that's normally how things like these go. It's, it works until it doesn't. I was taking this, and 4 or 5, 6 months in, I'm in the best shape of my life. I'm ripped. I have like a 6-pack. Things are going well. Like, I'm not like, missing work. I'm productive at work. I'm in sales, so that's performance-based, and I was doing well in work. So like all the right things were happening, and that was allowing me to kind of sweep the obvious truth under the rug of me being dependent on this substance. And then it's like, it works until it doesn't. And when it didn't start working, that's what really led me down this downward, dark spiral where I basically just like was killing myself and in like a pit of hopeless shame every single day, which is just not a fun place to be in, especially when, not a lot of people know what you're going through, but can clearly see that something is off about you, and that you're, just like, you're like sifting in your own shit, and like this feeling of guilt and shame that you just like, it's just so obvious to see. So I'm creating this video because I stopped taking it like after 50 attempts of going cold turkey. I was finally able to do it in November, and it's June of 2023 right now, so I'm about 7 months clean. Never done kratom, never tried kava again. I've just been solid and feel like I'm on like an upward trajectory right now. I have a lot of momentum in life, and quite literally feels like I got my life back. And so things are going well for me. Like, I wouldn't be able to go on a walk outside in the sun 8 months ago. I would have been like, curled up in a ball in my apartment, trying not to throw up while I just drank another one of these things just to feel okay. But I just want to make this video for anyone who is in that situation that I found myself in. I was going on these Reddit threads, seeing people post kind of concerns about it, or some people that were going through the same thing as me, but there just weren't enough of us out there, and it was hard to get support. I've seen that community grow by hundreds of people over the past, since I quit, over the past 5-6 months. And it clearly is a common issue for people that do, maybe have similar personalities or tendencies to me. It's clearly an issue that a lot of people are facing, that they get super addicted to this thing, not knowing how crippling it actually is. And I just kind of want to share, I want to be able to support people and be the support that I wish I had when I was in those dark times, because those dark times lasted for like 4 months of me trying to quit, not really being able to tell anyone. But when I did finally make a change and was able to reach out to people, friends and family, and tell them what I was going through, their support is what really got me through it. Strangers' support as well. And I've talked to a lot of you guys in this community, so in the Reddit community, at least. I don't know where you're seeing this video, but I want to just be able to, be a resource for people that are going through this, because it's a legal substance. It's being promoted as like a healthy alternative to alcohol and a performance enhancer, but they're really leaving out a lot of the potential negative effects of this. And I'm not bashing on the company. I don't want to bash on the company. I know people that drink it that have zero issues with it. Yeah, they may take it every day, but it's not a destructive substance that's like interfering with their life. But I know there are people that have found themselves in the same situation that I was in, that may have no hope right now and may just need to talk to someone or need some support to get them through the withdrawal process, because it isn't a pleasant process. But from my experience, towards the end, for the last 3 months, I was drinking around a case a day, and I honestly think that they've lowered the dose of kratom in it. But I was drinking a case a day, that's 12 a day. Not being able to eat, throwing up, basically killing myself, dry skin. Could function for about like 2 hours on this stuff at most, and then I would start withdrawing, waking up in the morning just like in a horrible withdrawal. I want to kind of be able to like let you guys know what to expect and let you know there is hope, because the withdrawal does suck. It definitely does help to have support going through it, but it's not as bad as you think it's going to be, because it doesn't last as long as maybe some other hardcore substances that might scare you when in comparison to this. But yeah, I don't want to sugarcoat it and say it's easy, because it sucked and it took me like 40 tries to quit. And it was horrible for like, 4 to 5 days. But then you quickly kind of can turn it around, and there's things that you can do to mitigate and speed up the recovery process. And from my experience of really abusing this stuff, I don't really have any long-term there's no long-term like effects or negative effects, or whatever they call those, like long-term withdrawal symptoms. There's been none of that, and it literally feels like I got my life back. Things are going better than ever right now, and that's why I wanted to actually create some sort of support group or community of people that are doing this that's more action-based than just maybe posting on a Reddit thread or texting someone you met on Reddit, like actually making this a little bit more interactive for, one, the people that are struggling, but two, maybe the people that aren't, but like it and can maybe like see themselves on the threshold of being addicted and having difficult stopping, but not really experiencing the negative effects that some others like myself have experienced. So just a community to kind of talk about this new product, because it doesn't seem like it's going away anytime soon. And from my experience and from talking to other people who found themselves in a similar experience to me, there's definitely a lot of harm. And I didn't even mention at all the fact that it's expensive. So if you're addicted to it and you don't really have the income to support the habit, like you could definitely spend all of your money on it and basically ruin yourself and like relationships solely by trying to support and fund this habit that's difficult to get out of. So I just want to be a resource. I'm in a state of gratitude right now that I was able to get off this stuff. I was able to get my life back. I didn't sever my career, my job, or relationships. And that gratitude makes me want to go and help someone else, and be the resource that I needed when I was going through that difficult period. So if you are interested in what me and another individual who have gone through something similar are doing, we're going to just do Zoom calls, keep up with you guys, and just be like someone that you can reach out to and ask questions or tell us what you're going through, or in any way that you think or we think we can support you, just be there for you. So I don't know where you're seeing this video, but we just created a little page where you can put your email in and we'll send you some updates. We might, depending on how many people join it, host a Zoom call next week, introduce ourselves, maybe get to know some of you guys. So anyway, hope this video helps someone, and if you are interested in kind of continuing this conversation and getting support that I'm willing to offer and a few other individuals are willing to offer, just throw your information below and we'll be in touch.